pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the agenda. Any changes or additions to the agenda? Motion approved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
5-0, motion carries. Public forum.
Consent agenda.
Consent agenda.
Oh, consent agenda, Quinn, you better go.
Okay, attached are the minutes from our last meeting. And I'm sorry, but I accidentally inserted my memo back into that. That's my fault. So you do have the minutes from the meeting last time, and then we have our receivables and payables. And this is the meeting where we looked at the 3-year comparison for the golf course, so that's in there as well. And I just wanted to point out quickly, this past April, the golf course revenues was $20,000 more than last year in just that month. So April was very, very, very busy at the golf course this spring.
Great.
So it's a good start for the season.
For the year, I think, if I
Yep.
did rough
I was
math,
gonna
it's
say.
up like 48,000,
Yeah.
I think, if I look correctly on this, from last
Yep.
year's
Well, what
gross.
was already a great year last year?
I was just gonna say, from an increase from last year.
Very good start.
Yep. Any questions with the consent agenda?
You looking for a motion?
Yep.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Public forum, anybody here to speak through public forum?
Ron Berger, 115 West North Street. It's good to hear the golf course is doing good, which is kind of the subject of my talk tonight. The city council voted, a month or so ago, to cut back on the curbside pickup, which would have benefited the whole town, and by saving $10,000 or $12,000, they had it here. So being that the golf course is doing such an extravagant job now, I feel that this fall, come the city budget, there should be no tax dollars whatsoever spent for that golf course ever again. If it can't make it on its own, it's time to make some cuts there also. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Anyone else here to speak through public forum? Public forum? Okay. Notice and communications.
I do not have any.
Council reports. Been any meetings, a utility meeting tonight, Mike?
Mostly, maintenance stuff tonight, not a real, I guess they signed a contract with Wolf.
CPA for a wind wholesale power, furnace power agreement for wind
Other-
for 20 years.
And that's to, keep us in the green, within our limits of the green.
It's in compliance, and it's also a very reasonable price on purchase power.
Other than that, it's pretty uneventful meeting.
I think they made their decision for a new hire.
I'm sorry, yes.
You got another committee member next to you that might talk.
Yeah, I can cover that. The utility board voted tonight to approve Alex Jolstead for the lineman position contingent on pre-employment requirements. So,
Sounds good.
and the deck is done out at the golf course.
Yay!
It's complete.
Good.
Yep.
How beautiful
If
does
it
it
warms up,
look?
maybe we can get some use out of it.
It's pretty nice.
I'm
It's
proud.
big.
I can't wait to go see it.
Yep.
Anybody else?
Nope.
Okay. Administrative reports.
Okay, attached in the administrative report is your April reconciliation statement from the bank. The cash balance report as of last Friday. And this is a reminder for the council that we will have a work session next Monday, May 17th at 7 p.m. And we'll be looking at that, the Janesville Matters letter that was presented to the council at the last meeting. And you will get an agenda packet out by Thursday. I just realized that. I'm not here Friday, so you'll get it Thursday. State regulations, COVID. Obviously, as you know, things drastically changed here in the last several days. State mandates, mask requirements, and everything like that. It's my understanding that, you know, some of our regulations that we have in this building and all other city buildings will be lifted. The ultimate goal, of course, is that 70% vaccination rate by July 1st. If we get to that, it's my understanding that our preparedness plan that we have for all of our buildings will not need to be in place anymore. And for the newer council, was it last June or July, we were required to put a plan in place in order to, you know, conduct business in our buildings. So cleaning, you know, restrooms, amount of people in a room per table, you know, all that stuff, all those plans are in place, but it's my understanding that those could be lifted, or there may be some cut-down version from the state that we still need to follow, but that's all coming up. We don't know yet. So I'll just keep you all posted about that. It's possible that the council will be looking at a new plan to approve, probably at our next meeting or two. And then the only other thing I guess I had, last week, Andrea and I had signed up to go on to a webinar with the League of Minnesota Cities that was going to talk about this new American Rescue Plan and the money that the city would receive. They canceled that because they still did not know what the U.S. Treasury had as far as guidelines and requirements for that money. That webinar will now be in a couple weeks. And I was just reading again some more about that today. The Treasury did issue some information out this afternoon. I read through it, and in my professional opinion, there's about 1 million questions remaining. So hopefully we'll find out in a couple weeks.
See, they were touting in the news today that they're releasing the money to the states to issue to the municipalities. How long that takes, I don't know, but...
Right.
Clear as mud.
Do they have
know
that guidance
how much
in there?
anybody's gonna get or anything?
I don't know the exact dollar amount yet, yeah.
We have no idea what we can do with it.
Originally, Jim, when they came up with the dollar amounts a couple months ago, they missed like a dozen cities in Minnesota. So now they're trying to figure out how they're gonna get money. Yeah. We'll get there.
Perhaps.
Yep. And then I attached also is the brief from the coalition. Obviously, this is kind of go-to time for the state legislatures, so just kind of keep your eyes open and ears open to watch the news at night to see what the legislature's coming up with as far as, you know, different budgets and different things like that, so.
They can stop fighting long enough to do anything.
Exactly. That's all I have.
Make a motion to approve the administrator's report.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Department heads? Nate, Joe? Like, Councilman Sano said, it's pretty run-of-the-mill standard business. Andy covered the hiring side of things, and I don't have anything unless you got questions for me, so.
I couldn't hear him.
Basically, we covered the stuff already in the council reports, unless you have any questions for Nate.
Nope, I couldn't hear him, that's all.
I'll do better next time.
Thanks, Nate, that helped. We're good.
Joe?
Going over some CIP bids tonight. All I got.
Nice.
Okay. Well, we can move right into that.
All right, so I'm gonna put up a map here. Oh, if you want me to,
Oh, we can get a little bit, but I'm
Same.
looking at two.
Well,
Same
my
as
bad.
Can everybody still see it out there?
So yeah, every year we budget for our capital improvement plan, chip seal, overlays, other minor reconstructs, that we look at. And this year, we can just kinda go through the WW, quote, what we're looking at. North Market, which would be right to the east of Lampert's. Can you zoom in on that, or just point at it, or?
should I zoom?
So what we're looking at doing there is basically the curb, there's a lot of grade, elevation changes, pieces of curb missing, the road surface is in pretty bad shape. Typical overlay will not suffice. So we will be looking at removing both existing roadway and curb gutter, replacing, and then Skookum by the Catholic Church, kind of the same scenario, except curb and gutter stays. We're just gonna be removing the existing surface, and then coming back with 2 lifts, 2 inches, 4 inches total of blacktop. And them 2 streets in particular are, what's really nice about those is why we're hitting them that way, is there's minimal infrastructure underneath. There's no sewer, water main that need replacing, so that's why we recommend just total redo the surface, and then you're good for a while, so.
Mm-hmm.
West Third Street from Main Street all the way to the dead end, we'll be looking at an edge mill. They come in, edge mill down next to the curb and gutter, and then a 2-inch overlay over the top of the whole surface. And then the sewer repair here that's listed, which is already completed, we've been having, at pretty much every heavy rain event, sewer would get backed up, because it would come down 3rd Street, jog down Skookum to 2nd Street, so we got rid of that, and we just straight shotted it all the way down 3rd Street, all the way down to West Street. So that's the repair that has already taken place. That was approximately $12,500 that came out of the sewer fund.
And that's actually on the bills from this council meeting,
Yep.
so, yep.
Yep. So we were kinda waiting to get that sewer repair done before we did the overlay, so now that's complete, so we're gonna move forward, hopefully, with the overlay. The chip seal, we like to do a little bit of that every year as well, where they come in, spray tack down, and then the little red granite rocks that seal it up, seal any little cracks, a little extra sunscreen, another little wear course, just to help protect the surface. We're gonna be looking down at Nelson Street and Nelson Court. And also, in addition, at Nelson Street, there is, the roadway has kind of settled after construction, and then a manhole you can kind of see it humped up quite a bit actually. So we're gonna cut a square out there, lower the manhole lid, and then pave that, and then the chip seal over that. So, and the other chip seal project would be Savannah Lane.
And then we got front. All right, is that the next?
West Front.
Yep.
Yep, so we have 2 blocks at West Front from City Park here, heading west. Will be basically an edge mill and overlay. There's no curb and gutter, so it's pretty straightforward. We're just gonna go right over the top and get her sealed back up with 2-inch overlay.
And then last but not least,
Becker. What?
Everybody, Ron Cummins just woke up.
Yeah, Ron?
I've just been enjoying the view.
So Becker Street, so Becker Street, we're missing half the road already, so we're just gonna remove the rest, and come in with 4 inches again, 2-inch lifts, blacktop on there. There's limited infrastructure there. There's some storm sewer in the alley, so the grading will have to be kind of adjusted to that, but, it'll be a total redo the surface, so.
This is the one block,
What's that?
that's the one block piece there, right?
Yep, correct.
It needs it.
And, this year we have $200,000 in the budget for this. And as you can see, the math there with that 12.5 out of the original WW bid, because that's coming out of the sewer fund, we come in right at 192,568, and that includes chip seal.
And that's my super fancy spreadsheet skills, as you can tell.
Yep.
But it gets the point across, I guess, doesn't it? And then the other quote came in, it was a little more than that, but did not include the chip seal
Correct.
costs.
Yeah, we have to get two bids, so we contacted Nielsen Blacktopping out of Kasota, and then they came in at 193,142 without any chip seal, because they do not do it, they sub it out. And I just, once I seen their number, I didn't even inquire any further on the chip seal from them, so. Questions?
Does WW sub their seal coating out?
They do, Allied.
Yeah, okay, that's
Yep.
what I thought.
Yep.
Seems like a no-brainer who to go with here on,
That'd be my recommendation, yes, would be to
Or
approve the
low bid.
WW bid.
it's nice to see you get a lot more of these streets taken care of.
Yep. Yeah, I like the direction we're headed. It's
Absolutely.
definitely noticeable.
I'll make a motion to approve the bid from WW.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And has anyone seen the capital improvement plan? Does everyone have a copy of this?
It was in your book that you read in December, yep.
Okay. And like Femrite said, I mean, it needs to be kind
Got to
of
update a little bit, yep.
pretty soon, so. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel. Joseph, thank you.
The new business, special assessments, outlook, last page,
Okay, let me draw this,
subdivision.
get this diagram up here. That's you, Melissa, yes.
Okay. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do, but... Oh, Melissa Covens, 404 East First Street. So, I'm looking at potentially purchasing that lot. That one that's highlighted there. So, I just have a couple of questions, is talking about the special assessment, but there's a road that runs right through the middle of it, so like one of my questions is, who owns that road? I know it's an emergency road, but it's not kind of plotted off like a normal road would be. I don't know if it's supposed to be.
What-
When do you wanna address this?
City-owned right-of-way, it's, that road was put in, 2006? As kind of like the second emergency egress and ingress to that subdivision. So when we did this subdivision, we platted that narrow road for that reason. And I believe there's a water main right under it.
Yes, there is.
Under that little, dirt track?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we do have a street to the east of that that does the same thing.
No,
Hmm?
this is a lot here.
Yeah, but this street comes right down to here.
That little stub road in between.
And that's an access road that comes in there.
No, for the whole
behind
subdivision, Jim. That's, so the emergency vehicles, if there's a fire at the entrance of it, there's still means of getting in and out, or the
So
road's
that
plugged
street-
up for some
That street
reason.
east of that isn't good enough then.
Well, that's actually...
No, that is a street that comes through.
Yeah.
That little
I see.
stub.
Yep, that's a street. I'm
But it
kind of
doesn't
on
go all
the
the
same
way.
page. How
It doesn't
often,
come all the way up to the road. See, here's the road, Jim.
that little side street doesn't go all the way to the road?
Doesn't, that little side street's got a little dirt road that goes, splits the property in half basically, and comes down as emergency, comes back behind Park Road Plaza.
We're looking on that east,
But there is a road, there is a
Right,
dirt
yeah.
road
Oh,
that
shoot,
passes
sorry.
through that street. just like that dirt road that angles across that property. I know there is, 'cause I've
How
used
often
it.
have you guys had to use the dirt road for emergency?
Oh, we use it once in a while for the fire department goes in that way.
Just did today at
See
noon.
what I'm saying, on the south end of Melissa, of the lot she's asking for, there's a dirt track just like the one that goes across there on the south edge of her track. I'm not sure why we'd have to use that across her property if she wants to buy it.
Right.
And then they have a hard street to come into the subdivision, so
When, my
dirt track is a
question,
dirt track.
and
No.
to rephrase my question, how often have you had to use that road in the middle because that other one wasn't available for use? That's my question.
I don't think it's ever,
What-
because it has,
If
it's
it's-
shorter
Okay.
to get back there for emergency reasons, is why
Right.
we used it.
Right.
It's not.
PD uses it a fair amount, I know.
And they,
But is it because the other road is not accessible?
No, let's back up a minute, everybody.
Question.
We need two ways of ingress and egress out of every subdivision, at least two. So this is the second one that the city platted years ago, okay?
Oh, I have just a question. So I was told that you have to have two entrances, but like the subdivision on Allen, there's not two, and then the other one out here, there's not two.
goes by size of lot, how many lots and stuff.
That's what I was wondering.
I don't know exact numbers or anything, but I know you have so many lots, this was done before my time,
Yeah.
but I know you have so many lots, you have to have the second means of,
I don't know, it's Allen Circle only has one entrance.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for a fact, 'cause I've gone out there now.
Yeah, there's several.
I'm not sure that we need to, if she wants to buy that property, I'm not sure that we need to come across her property. We can come to the south of her property, and there's a dirt track right there. That's what I'm just saying,
There's a water main.
there's a water main under, that's a utility easement anyway.
Yeah, and so I know I have to build like, I'm not gonna build like right in the middle, you know? We have to build
Right.
like whatever, 10 feet from either side of that.
Right.
But
You're comfortable
I
with
have,
having that used?
what's that?
You're comfortable with having that?
Well, I have kids too, so that's why I was kind of wondering, like, you know, I'm just trying to understand everything.
It's, I know people back there use it more than they're supposed to. Joe Public isn't supposed to be using that road.
Mhm.
They do,
Right.
and we've put up, what do you call those things, Joe, the barriers there,
Drive over,
Drive over barriers.
yeah.
they've destroyed them, they've went around them, obviously if somebody lives back there, I think they might respect it a little more than that, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got, okay, go ahead.
Easier to help.
Ron Cummins, Melissa's dad. What she was wondering is, can that road be moved down along the wetland, still come out and use that short road driveway approach, whatever you wanna call it, to come back out onto the road?
So if you need that
Move this road
second.
from here down along this property line and come back up. Then it's not splitting her.
Instead of right down the middle of that.
That was my concept, if we need an access, I don't think, if I was buying that property, I wouldn't want something splitting it. We already have that road coming on the east side of those townhouses. And all we'd have to do is have her put a dirt track on the south edge of her property, and that would give us access.
Yeah.
Isn't that a designated bike path?
Over here it is, Joe, isn't it, right
What
here?
are you talking about?
No,
He's talking over here.
dirt road that we got going through there, the emergency access road.
Okay, let's back up 5 minutes here. So tonight, we're talking about possibly purchasing the lot and agreeing, agreeing to the special assessment for the property, okay? If we were to talk about moving a road, we're talking about getting rid of a right-of-way, which requires public hearings, moving the right-of-way, which means we acquiring property from someone, probably Melissa, to keep that second right-of-way into the subdivision, okay? So that's kind of a second set of questions that we need to ask ourselves. So maybe if it's okay if I say this, but are you interested in coming up with a special assessment on the property? If you are, then we can continue to have these conversations. Is that fair?
Yep.
Isn't fair.
Yeah.
If you don't wanna sell it, that's your...
Right, it's potentially your property, so, I mean,
These are just additional questions, you know, like on top of, 'cause
Yeah.
you know,
I wouldn't wanna buy a piece of property
Right.
that, you didn't have
Right.
all your questions answered
Yeah.
for either, so. I think we should be interested in selling it for,
Well, not selling it, but charging the assessment.
charging.
Because it's right now, yeah, right.
Wrong terminology.
yeah.
To changing the assessment to match similar to what we did for the other Outlook, I'd be more than in favor in that. You know, we sold the Outlook B for a percentage of what the assessment was.
And let me just,
As long as we're in the ballpark with that, I would have no problem selling it.
I'm just gonna put it on the screen because it's easier that way. So October 2019, like Mike was saying, we did settle on an assessment for another outlot in the area. The assessment that the council approved that evening was 71% of what the original assessment was for that lot. So if we did that with, the property that Melissa's interested in right now, the assessment would be $53,550 if the council is interested in that, instead of the $75,400.
I would be interested in that.
I would support that.
Same.
Okay, so,
I would certainly encourage you to, if you want to go forward with this, to get all your questions answered about if you wanna move that road or
yeah,
whatever.
'cause I also wanna find out, 'cause I know there's two easements, or an easements 'cause of some sewer or whatever, and then the water, but also I wanna find out where that buildable area is at on both of those too.
So I would recommend, if the council were to approve the $53,550, you know, take that home, sleep on it, think about that number. If that's doable for you, then, you know, you can talk with us and staff about, you know, the zoning and the utility questions and things like that, yeah.
As far as getting that road moved, I think can be done, it's not an easy thing to do, it can be done.
It requires public hearings and things like that, so, I mean, it'll be a process, yeah.
Just letting you know what, it's
Right.
not gonna be a,
So like, are you guys set on that amount? Or can I kinda throw a number out and we like, you know, just, and the other reason I ask is because each parcel or lot is a little bit different. I know you might have done that, but there's also a road in the middle of it, which cuts off half of it. I'm fine if you don't move it, but there's also that water main there where, you know, you can't really build anything on that, you know?
Right, you're still kind of at the will of public use.
Right, you know, and what happens if, like, that road is tarred in the future? Does that get charged on just me, or, you know, like, those are kind of all things that I'm thinking about when I talk about, like, the price. So I wanna throw an offer out at 40,000 and kinda see what you guys are thinking, or, you know, what we can kinda do,
How
I
large
guess.
is that lot? 3/4 of an acre?
I think it's like 2.77.
2.7 acres?
I think so.
I think in 2019, how was the 71% established?
it really wasn't established as a percentage, it was an offer made and we accepted for that
That's
price.
exactly what it was,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was, there's nothing set in stone that we have to take exactly 71% of for the next one. We made when this went back to the state, if I remember right, Clinton, we decided that the assessments were way too high on these two lots, and we said we'd be open to negotiation.
Yep, exactly.
And as far as I know, that's as far as we've ever gotten on these. Nobody's made an offer on it yet, so.
I'm trying to find the property information here.
History on these were, when this subdivision was built, and then the bond for this has already been paid off. And, it paid off in, what, 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
Clinton, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, and this is the assessment we're just sitting on.
If you hit the report, I think it brings up the...
Well, I did, and it didn't,
It doesn't show acres
yeah.
on that one.
You have to use like there's a ruler you can use on Beacon to measure it. So if you go back to the lot, and then up,
Yeah,
A nice square lot works great.
yeah, but you have to kind of measure it from side to side, and then it gives you the acreage of there, and like I said, I think it's like 2.7 something, I don't know.
I did not color inside the lines at all as a child. How am I doing, Ron? You sleeping? How am I doing?
So if you change the area to the square footage to
Up on your...
acreage,
Yep.
it should tell you. Okay, I don't think you did it right. Must have stopped.
Stop thinking on us.
The top one?
Well, the two lots combined are 4.94.
$43,560 square feet in an acre. Okay, I'm a nerd. What is 121,000 divided by that? It's about 3 acres?
Just about 3.
Yeah.
Does that work?
2.7 sounds pretty close.
I think it's like 2.77 or 2.78, so close, yeah.
I think you, at this point, in my opinion, you put in a offer, and we will either accept or deny when you get all your questions answered, I guess. And we can negotiate up or down from there, I guess.
Yeah.
Does that sound fair to the council, or?
Yeah, and it sounds like we anticipated the high estimate in the beginning, so negotiation was probably an underlying factor,
Obviously, isn't an ideal lot that, you know, has a road going through it.
right?
Right.
What, can you get 3 buildable lots out of that probably? Without disturbing that road? Probably. I was just thinking, this property on the edge of Janesville, the lady that owned it before, she had, 20 years ago, a developer wanted to buy it, and they were offering $20,000 an acre for it. Well, if I move that forward to, this is developable property, $20,000 an acre times 2.7 comes to about $54,000. However, it's triangulated, so you'd have to discount for the triangulation, and it's cut up with a road through the middle, you'd have to discount for the road. So I think her 40 to 45,000 is probably a reasonable number. You take all of those figures, you put it together, and then the triangulation limits the value because you don't have any square edges, and so you have to discount that, and the road going through there and the wetland, I
And the
think
water
that
main.
40 to 45,000 is a very reasonable number for this. That way, if she does want to subdivide, she can make a few dollars in her pocket, and
Well, and shoot,
plus we get new housing in that part of the city.
Well, shoot, even if we did move the road, she still has the water main, regardless of where the road could be or will be, so I agree.
So Clinton, if she comes in with that, I would support that kind of a number because of all of the restrictions on that piece of property. I think 45,000 is a reasonable number, Melissa. So, that's just my thinking it through. I think top end of 70,000 is a lot for that piece of property because of all the limitations. One opinion.
I concur.
They give you the answers you need? Kinda, sorta?
Sorta, I've got more, but it's a start.
Yeah.
So I think you, at the table there, had a number of 40,000. Correct?
That was the number she gave, yes.
Yeah.
We're looking at an offer of 40,000 because of some restrictions in it, so now are we looking at not moving the road and?
Well, I mean, I'm open. I guess, you know, if it, I don't know what it would cost to move the road. I'm sure it's not cheap or, you know, doing all of that. It can stay there, it's just not everybody's begging for a road in the middle of their yard, right? But it doesn't have to be moved. You can't build on it anyway, even if the road is moved, you know?
Does the water main.
But the only,
Right.
I guess my only concern is like, if I were to purchase it with a road, if it's just an emergency road, how do we keep everybody else going in and out, right? Or,
Right.
you know, do we have to put curbs up on the side of it, or say, do you know what I mean? Something. Like, those are additional questions that I would have, just I have kids, so, you know. I don't know, 'cause it doesn't sound like that road gets used a whole lot to where the other access is blocked off. It's a shorter way to get to that area, you know, but it's not where somebody has to go that way because they have another entrance in there.
Right.
Well, we basically have an offer of 40,000, I assume we need to vote on. I guess my personal opinion, if we were gonna accept an offer, a lower offer like that, I'm probably not super inclined to spend a bunch of tax dollars changing a bunch of other things. Kind of, gonna take a lower offer, you're gonna buy it as is. That's my personal opinion, but, should we do a vote? We'll do a roll call vote in favor of selling it for 40,000?
Is that a motion?
Charging the special assessment of 40,000 is pretty much what you said, right?
Yes, that's
Okay.
exactly what I said.
I'm sure that's what he said.
I'm absolutely positive sure that's what he
I'll
said.
second
That's what I
Andy's
heard.
motion.
Good translation. You moved to...
I seconded Andy's motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Congratulations, Lisa.
Thank you.
Now you gotta deal with these people about how you wanna deal with all this.
Got it.
But I think it's a nice opportunity for you to
Yes.
move forward and for us to put housing in that part of the city.
Absolutely.
Exciting.
So,
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for taking it on.
Thank you.
Okay, so Andy, if you wanna sign the resolution, then I'll type up all the fancy
Change the... yep.
things in there.
Yep.
See ya. Oh, man, I'm still drawing. Can I just get rid of that map? Thank you.
So where does, if she does end up paying the assessment, where does that money go to?
The assessment will come here, and then we'll put it towards that project fund,
Go in the
basically.
debt service fund.
Project.
The debt service fund, yeah.
Oh, debt service.
From when Northwood was established in 2006, we still have
You
a...
said that's all paid off.
Yep.
That bond is paid off.
That bond is paid off, but I will absolutely guarantee you, many of those assessments were never paid, so it took a while to
I see.
capture the money,
I
so to
see.
speak. Yep.
And so that'll go back to general fund to pay off some of those
The,
assessments that
the debt service fund.
that we spent.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
thank you. That's what
Yep.
I was looking for.
Yep.
Okay, other new business? Premises permit for the Purple Goose?
Yes, the American Legion Post 311, located in Elysian, has worked with the Purple Goose on doing the gambling arrangements at the Purple Goose. In order for that to happen, the city council, within the city limits, they need to approve a premise permit which allows that. So your resolution tonight would show city council approval to have Legion Post 311 to complete gambling at the Purple Goose. And there's various paperwork that I will give to their gambling manager tomorrow, and then he has to submit all that to the state.
And again, we're doing this because there's nobody so nobody in Janesville is interested in
Correct.
doing the gambling up there anymore?
Can we
Correct.
have two pull tab or gambling units in there at the same time?
Yep, you can have more than two, more than one, yep.
Question occurred to me after our last meeting. Can we stipulate higher than 30% that they leave in the community?
No,
They have
that's a
to-
state law.
They have to give 30%. Can we negotiate higher than that to the person with the gambling?
I don't think we can. I think the Gambling Control Board
All right,
completely
that's what I-
regulates that, yeah.
That was my question.
Yep.
All right.
So the Legion and the snowmobile trail is gonna be in there, or the
Snowmobiles,
The Legion's asking.
Snowmobile never put a permit in, so we
Okay.
haven't permitted them yet.
Oh,
They still can,
Sure. Gotcha.
but right now, this one's just for the Legion.
Yeah, last meeting, they were looking for an ordinance change, and we came to the
That they didn't
conclusion that we didn't need an ordinance
Right.
change, and they have not submitted a permit, correct?
correct.
Okay.
that threw me.
I'd move that we let the American Legion in and, accept their proposal to put gambling in the Purple Goose.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.